Hey guys, we're back.
Yes, we are.
I am Nick.
And I'm Luke.
And this is Tabletop Tonic.
It's been a while.
It has. So we were gone last week. I guess people would have known we were gone if you follow our Instagram. We kind of posted on there. But we were out because I had a little surgery done last week.
You got your heart removed, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How's it feel?
Feels good.
Just be coasting.
I got a new baby heart now, which I thought would be a problem because it's not pumping enough blood, but it's been working fine. So
that's good.
Yeah.
I hear baby hearts are like 5 times as strong.
Yeah. Because the brain, and also it's growing. It's like new.
Okay, that makes sense. Because like in your body now, so it would like just gain strength from being like an adult man. I would think.
Yeah, but no, what it was is I had this. So I mean, I kind of told you what it was, but I had the name for it is a pyloidal cyst. But what it is, it's this area on your lower back where like your tailbone is, and it happens either
the most useless of bones.
Yeah, but it's like an ingrown hair infection almost a little bit. But the problem with it, like a regular ingrown hair, is like if you got like a little like infection or something, like it'll be like a pimple, it'll go away. But the problem with it is that it's constantly infected, so it never gets better; it just keeps flaring up more and more. So I had to get it removed when it wasn't flared up because if I got the surgery when it was like flared up, they actually would have had to leave the leave the incision open. I wouldn't have gotten stitches, which they said is like way more painful than just. Yeah,
I can imagine having an open wound.
Yeah,
just like chilling with an open wound would be kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, where your fucking your lower spinal cord is.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that done. That's why we were out last week. But yeah, no, I'm feeling better.
Good.
I had a blood tube in me, which is probably the most painful thing. It was like a drain. I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah. You know the funny thing about that picture was?
What?
I was drinking a strawberry milkshake when you sent me that picture of this little ball with your blood in it, which I was not expecting you to send. And that kind of ruins a strawberry milkshake for you, you know, when you're just kind of like enjoying a little walk in the sun.
Understandable.
So, not like you knew I was drinking a strawberry milkshake.
I was waiting.
But also, you know, like when you get like a strawberry milkshake, there's like little chunks of strawberry in it. And then, you know, when you're like just sipping on it and you open your phone to see what your friends are up to.
You know, there were chunks, not in that, but
oh my God.
There were chunks because what would happen is the blood would actually clot in the tube.
Oh my God.
So you'd have to like squeeze it. You have to like squeeze it out essentially. So there'd be times when
this is a not safe for work podcast right now.
The ball would have like chunks like in it.
Oof.
Of yeah, but I got that taken out yesterday. Then
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Did you get to keep the ball?
No.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. I didn't want it just because of the pain it caused me. But
because you know sometimes when you get like your kidney removed, don't they like let you keep it or something like that?
Let you keep something. You know, I tried asking them to keep my my teeth when they removed. I got a tooth pulled in high school, and the dentist was like, "Oh no, it's just gonna get crushed. Like the second I try to pull it out, it's just gonna like be crumbled."
That makes sense because they kind of like drill into it, so it gets destroyed.
And then I asked for my wisdom teeth afterwards, and they were like, "Oh no, it's gonna gets like sawed up in the process. So like, there's like nothing we can give you."
I still have all 4 of my wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they come in or are they?
They're coming in literally right now.
Are you like in pain or?
Oh yeah. Oh, it hurts.
Get this taken out.
I'm going to, yeah. Probably very soon.
Yeah.
I have to get it because the problem is I had a dentist for a while, and we literally just switched dentists. Dentist. What's the plural
dentist,
for
dentist?
Well, it's one dentist, so I don't even know what the correct pronunciation for that is. But also in my job, all I do is talk to people, and I have to wear a mask all day. So you can only imagine if you have a swollen face and you have to wear a mask, how hard it would be for people to understand you.
If you get it done, you have to like.
I'd have to take time off.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'm staying. I have to stay home.
Yeah, for at least like a week or two.
Yeah.
So that's also kind of why I'm pushing it off like a little bit.
Also, no straws or like.
And I love straws.
Or like sucking.
I love that they kill turtles. You know, I hate those cardboard straws.
Yeah, because once they get wet, they get like
so soggy.
Get soggy.
What do you think McDonald's does? Because they have those straws.
Theirs is made out of plants. It's like plant cells or something like that.
Okay. Because they feel like plastic straws.
Yeah, and they're actually way more rigid than regular plastic straws.
Yeah, they're like good.
Yeah.
So why can't everyone like get on that train?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Because on the little paper outside that the straw comes in, it says like made out of plant byproduct. So it'll like,
and they degrade, right?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, it just like.
So why can't we just make all plastic straws?
Yeah, I don't know why we just don't do that, because I was like, oh, this like seems to be like the solution, like plastic straw, especially if it's like biodegradable, like plant material.
Yeah, because the problem with like the real plastic straws is they do degrade, but only into like microplastic, which is like terrible.
Yeah,
because then it gets into all the fish you eat. I know we talked about this like either last
I know there's
week
like
or 2 weeks
they say
ago.
there's like microplastics and like almost everything now.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And the cardboard ones are terrible because you put it in your drink and like 5 minutes later, it's like a soggy
it dissolves
mess. And metal straws are the fucking worst.
Those are like, you'll hurt yourself with
Oh
those.
my God, I hate those when restaurants have those, because it's like, I promise you are not cleaning this metal straw like it needs to be.
You're not doing it right.
You need to put like a brush through it every time, and I guarantee you are not doing that for every single straw you put out.
I can understand like
at home, that's fine.
Yeah, if it's like personal, like, oh, this is like my straw.
Or if you like bring your own metal straw to places,
yeah,
and tell your server,
you're
or
like,
whomever,
yeah,
I don't need a straw from you. I have my own.
Yeah,
that's completely fine.
That's one thing. But like
someone giving you a metal straw that will also be in someone else's mouth. I mean, I guess forks are like silverware is probably the same, but I feel like it's a lot easier to clean.
You know that got cleaned. Like okay, this like went through like the dishwasher,
right?
And like I know that like every bit of it got hit by the water and the soap.
Yeah,
I can't guarantee if that straw you went all the way in down to the other side and you got everything.
Right? Because at my work, when like I take a fork off someone's table and I bring it into the back, it sits in a bucket of soapy water. And then it gets like washed off by the dishwasher. Is your headphones okay?
It's a little weird. It's all right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's fine.
Then it gets washed off by the dishwasher. Then it goes to the dishwasher once. Then it gets sorted with other silverware. Then it goes to the dishwasher again for a second time. And then we polish it off with sanitary like towels too. So you know that fork is definitely clean.
Damn.
Yeah. But with a straw, how the hell are you like guaranteeing? You have to individually, with no machine, take it in soapy water and take a scrub brush and go through every single one.
Exactly.
And if you have a high turnover restaurant, there's no way.
That doesn't seem sanitary. You know?
Also, that one lady, you hear about this old lady who was a server? No. And she was, oh my God, this is like a year ago. Probably a year ago, like this month or somewhere along the lines of that. But she was... the whole Starbucks thing happened, right? Where they're going strawless.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so that restaurant she worked at went to metal straws, and she was holding like a tray of drinks, and she fell over, and the straw went into her eye, and she died. It killed her on the spot.
Holy shit!
Yeah, holy shit.
I know. They were like. I know everyone was like, "Oh, metal straws aren't inclusive because I'm just gonna take this off. This is irritating me." They're like, "Oh, metal straws aren't like inclusive because I think it's actually the jack that's wiggly. It's not like my earphones."
Do you want to? There's another jack I have.
Oh,
to replace it.
Let me try that real quick. Yeah, no, but they were like, because people have like handicap. Some people with handicaps need. Let me see if this works.
Need straws, right?
Yeah.
You hear me better now?
No, it's still doing. Wait, hold on.
I think it's your headphones, man.
Might be my headphones.
Here, take these. I used those for an interview yesterday, so they're fresh in the professional setting. Yeah, the thing with Starbucks is I know they were still going to give straws to people if they had a handicap, because not everyone can drink out of those like lids that have like just the opening.
No, it's still doing it.
Really?
I think it's the socket or something. It's fine. I don't need them.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, no, we'll check it at the break.
Okay.
Because I know they're saying people with handicaps, like it can't because they could hurt themselves with the metal. So you don't want that, but like this is like a case of like the metal straw actually
killing someone. Yeah.
They literally like.
There's also one lady who was older.
Yeah, who tripped and fell on a plate of spiky straws.
Yeah. I mean, I've fallen with drinks in my hands before. Only once. I didn't really fall. I put it... I guess it's a fucking lie. I didn't really fall. I put it on the tray stand, and... What the fuck even happened? I'm trying to think. It, I kind of, leaned on it by accident, and it tipped over. But also, it was a silverware, bucket right next to it, so it dumped all the silverware too. And it was a huge bridal party I was working, so it was a huge thing. And so all the drinks spill and not on anyone. Oh my god! But that was actually the last time I did that, because every time I've done served drinks so far, anything, I'm always so careful to move everything to the center so it doesn't fall. After
a huge mistake, you're like, I'll never do this again.
Yeah, I'm super careful.
Yeah.
Because one time I spilled tomato soup on a lady.
Oh.
And she had this is actually probably best case scenario. I was delivering a tomato soup to a lady, and she had her full leg cast and had her leg out on a chair under the table. I just realized I'm showing my foot to the fucking camera. And I didn't see it, and I tripped over her cast and spilt it on her lap. It was hot, but she apologized to me. She's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't let you know that it was under there and stuff, which is best case scenario.
Yeah,
because I was probably 16 at the time, because any other customer would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you and stuff like that. You're paying for these pants or whatever, or you're at least paying for the tomato soup, so
did you take it off the bill?
I don't remember, because I was bossing tables. I wasn't serving.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't in control of the bill at the time. Now I would have definitely taken out the bill and probably bought her something else with my own money.
Because I went to, I won't say the name of the restaurant, but it was a local joint. And they were picking, the girl was picking up plates, and she dropped a bowl of marinara all over me. I was wearing a black shirt though, but she got it all over me.
Damn.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Yeah, no, it's fine. It was an accident. I wasn't mad or whatever." But I was thinking, oh, when the bill came, she I don't know, might take that off or something, or and she's like, "Here you go." She charged me for everything.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you spilt all this shit on me."
Because if I did that now, I think I would definitely take it off. At least pay with it for with my own money, just because I feel bad and don't want anyone to have a bad experience with that. But
I went to a restaurant one time, and our waiter forgot to put in one order of ours, and he brought it out, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm going to pay with this for my own money, blah, blah, blah." And we're like, "Oh." The food came out just 10 minutes after everyone else's did.
Right.
And it wasn't this is big deal. We're like, "Oh no, it's cool, whatever." He was like, No. He's like, "I'm gonna pay for it, blah, blah, blah." He's like, "It's all." This chick spilt shit on me. She's like, "Have a good night."
Yeah. No, it's cool of that one waiter who did that, I've definitely done that before too. I don't really make that many mistakes anymore just because I've done it for so long. And I take like extra time to make sure that I don't make any mistakes.
You're the best of the best.
I don't think I'm the best of the best, but I definitely dedicate a lot of my time to make sure that like mistakes like that don't be made, because I see it happen all the time and I hate the feeling of that. Like, dude, if you think that, not you particularly, but like as a customer, right? If you think you're upset that like your food didn't come out because something went wrong and like everyone else is eating, I guarantee if it's a good server, they feel 20 times worse than you do.
Yeah.
Because when that happens to me, if like I put in the wrong order or like something like that,
Yeah, oh shit.
I like want to like pull my hair out because of it. Like I guarantee it's like way worse.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% willing to like spend money like with my own credit card on someone's food if something like that happens.
Jeez.
Because it is so like sometimes you like don't even want to leave the kitchen because you just like don't want to see someone's face because you're like, oh my God, I messed up.
I know what you're saying.
I don't want to think I'm bad at my job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard sometimes, man. Which is why I spend so much time just like literally going over every single thing on my list
sure,
before I put it in to make sure. And sometimes the computer will mess it up too, which is crazy. Yeah. Like I remember like one time a couple weeks ago, the guy told me like New York strip steak, and I clearly pressed New York strip steak, did the temperature and everything. And then on the computer, it said like rack of lamb, but it was way too late. They were already getting their food by the time like I realized it said that. And so he got his food like 20 minutes later. And I was like, I know for a fact, because I remember you saying it to me. I remember like searching for it in the computer and stuff and pressing it. But you can't tell them that, because who gives a shit if the computer messes up? If like something was like a glitch in the system.
Yeah.
It's on you. So you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But it'd be like that.
It seems so like inefficient sometimes with computers. Like,
yeah. I feel like any computer in the workplace, if it's not implemented properly, then there's really no point.
It's more of like a detriment than like an asset, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Because sometimes it's definitely more efficient, but then there's always those times in any position where you're like, if I either just said this to someone or wrote it down on paper, it would definitely be way more efficient than like doing it like this. I feel like that's more of like a business ownership or management thing, though, because there's a log of everything that happens if you use a computer for every single thing.
It's like forever stored sort of thing.
Yeah, so you can always not have to really keep an eye on everything.
But you're like, I see here it says this.
Yeah, but if something goes wrong, you can look back on it.
That's like what they started doing with us when I was cleaning pools. Like, it was like
you dunked a computer in the pool.
Yeah,
it's like, this is how dirty it is.
The last 2 years, it was the last 2 or 3 years, I was cleaning pools. We got this app. They had us download this app, and
what was the app called?
What was it called?
Was it something funny?
No, it was either Time Tracker or Time Sheets. I forget what it was called. But
I thought it was something pool related.
Oh no, it wasn't. No,
That'd be funny.
It's an app for like if you have people that are like out in the field and like they're getting paid hourly.
Mm-hmm.
What we would do is like all the pools were in this like app that we were in.
Right.
So you picked what pool you were at, and then you hit clock in, and then it'll show up like on like the admin side of it, like the time, but also it used the GPS in your phone to send it back so that they knew where you were. Because like it wasn't like, oh, I could like be sitting at home, just hit clock in and like play a couple rounds of like Modern Warfare, and then like be like, oh look, you see I was there. No, like it used like your GPS signal from your phone, so it'll you clock in and they can see like you're at the pool, and then you also got paid from driving, because what we would have a loop where we do 2 pools. So then you also got paid for like driving in between. So then like you clocked in like, oh, I'm driving. now, and then like you clock it when you get to the next one and stuff. But like, so they had that because like sometimes like the people who like live in, because it wasn't like private pools, it was like big like kind of like nice communities have like a community pool for like the private neighborhood or whatever.
Right.
And they'd be like, oh, well, I didn't see anyone here today. And so I don't think the pool got cleaned. And they could like look it up real quick and they'd be like, no, they were there from this time to this time and everything got done. So,
which, by the way, if you live in a community with a pool, how shitty do you have to be to contact the pool cleaning company if you think that the pool was not cleaned that day?
Oh yeah, people do it all the time. Like people would like after like I've cleaned a pool completely, like, and I didn't fuck around. I actually love cleaning. Like I actually like really enjoyed that job.
Right.
I would like make sure everything was fucking spotless when I left, and people would be like, "Oh, this pool looks dirty," like as I'm leaving, and I'd be like looking over, and I'm like, can you tell me like what looks dirty? They're like, oh, there's like stuff at the bottom. There's nothing at the bottom of the pool. And I'm like,
that's the artwork.
And these people are like fucking 70, 80 years old.
Yeah.
And like, granted, I don't have the greatest eyesight in the world, but I'm like, I can promise I see better than you. I don't know what you're seeing.
I hate people like that.
Yeah.
That just like, they're clearly bored with their lives, so they have to complain about something.
Yeah, because all these places like clean pools, they're like neighborhood communities that have like this is the private pool, but no one who lived in these places was younger than 50.
Right.
Everyone was 50 or up. Not that these were like retirement home communities. It was just like all these old people just like kind of congregate to like these places where they don't have to take care of anything anymore because you know it's kind of too much, which is whatever. But also what was shitty was some of these places before they hired, because what I worked for was a property management company. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just cleaning pools we did. Like it was like maintenance men would take care of would take care of stuff like inside the houses and stuff like that. I never got as far as like, nor did I want to like do anything like that. But before they would hire us to clean the pool, what they would do was out of the HOA membership was that they would pay like one of the older people in the community like a stipend of it, like of the HOA membership to clean the pool. Mm. And from what I understood, a lot of them were paying like an obscene amount just to, like one dude just to like do, and he's like an old guy. It's not like a kid's doing it. There'd be like some dude in the community who'd be like, oh, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And he would like, they would like pay him like money out of the HOA funds. Mm-hmm. And when any of us, like any of like the people who went to clean it, they would always like be extraordinarily rude to us because they're like, you're doing a terrible job. This pool is filthy. When I cleaned it, I got it done, blah, blah, blah. And really what it is that they're mad that they're not getting their HO, like they're not getting like a kickback fee, of an HO from the HOA anymore. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Cause like I would tell like my bosses like, oh, like some dude like came and yelled at me today, but it's the dude who was cleaning the pools prior to us that was getting like his HOA stipend. And they're like, yeah, don't listen to him. He's like, but it was always those, like there was one pool in East Greenbush. Literally like the dude, as I was there, he would come in and like, he would like not only go into like the pool, the gated pool area, he would follow me into the pool house and be like, what are you doing? Show me what you're doing. And I'm like, sir, you like, this is like no longer your space. This is like ours. This is like, because we had right. We like put signs on the doors, like employees only, stuff like that. Because there's chemicals in there and stuff. Mm-hmm. You have liquid chlorine and also you have hydrochloric acid in there. You put that in the pool to lower the pH if the pH gets too high. But it's literally, it's like, it's enough to like burn through flesh sort of thing. Cause I spilt it on the ground and I've watched it like burn through stone, which is insane. But But yeah, dude, he would like come in and he's like, show me what you're doing. And I'm like, sorry, I don't have to show you anything. I was like, I've been doing this for like, I mean, granted, I was like 18 or 19, but I was like, I've been doing this for like 5 years. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like,
right.
Like I understand how pools work.
You don't need some stranger to tell you.
Yeah, like I don't need this man who's like, be like, oh, I don't think you know what you're doing. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I don't know. Does that ever happen just like in other things though, where people like constantly question like your like intelligence about something, and you're like, I've been doing this way longer than you have.
Yeah, 100%. Either in like the job or like, I'm trying to think. Definitely with my job a lot. I think people think I'm like stupid. I think people think, because I serve tables now, you know. But like I have other shit going on, you know. I go to school for something, you know. I literally had an interview yesterday with like a very big tech company for a job. But like people like I just assume that I'm like a dumbass who like brings food to a table, and they don't know like the whole picture of it. So they definitely question like, am I good at this job? You know, people expect.
Yeah,
like,
I think especially with like jobs like a waiter or like
anything in the service industry,
like even like retail and stuff. Like it's like, oh, this is like a secondary job sort of thing.
They assume you don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it does not matter to you at all.
Or like you're not the brightest person in the world, so that's why you're able to work here.
Yeah,
like
exactly. And it hurts my feelings sometimes because like, no matter what job I do, I really care that I do a good job. And for some random person to come in and just because they are the customer think that they dictate like how things go, and like they dictate like how like I'm like my performance, you know, it's kind of like upsetting sometimes. But you can't let it get to you because there's always going to be that people in probably in any job, you know.
Yeah, I know. Especially with because I do like video stuff. When people ask me what I do and I tell that to them, a lot of people just assume I don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And but I work for a production company, and like we work literally every week. Like we have stuff going on,
right?
Like I'm not just like sitting around. And also our studio is in like an office building, and my boss, he's like friends with some of the other people around that would come down. And I know they're joking, but they're like, oh, I see you guys aren't doing anything. And it's kind of like, I understand like those guys are they're like his friends. He's like, they're just like fucking around, you know, sort of thing. Right. But sometimes I want to be like, you can go fuck yourself.
Right.
Like, I don't like come up into like your office and I'm like, oh, I see like you aren't doing anything important right now.
Yeah. Because people don't understand like the intricacies of like your particular job, like what you're doing.
And especially with COVID, because we're doing a lot of stuff from like, we'll go out and shoot, but like we take everything home. We have like our computer set up at home. Like we have our little editing suite set up at home. So like we do everything from home really now. We're only in the studio if we have to be, you know? So like if like, but they would, I mean, obviously they're saying this prior to COVID, but like when they see us now in COVID, they're like, oh, I see not much going on down here. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe not right this very second, but like there's stuff happening, you know?
Right. Just not in like this particular setting.
I feel like that's like anyone though who works in like a creative field. Like I feel like if anyone said they were like a painter or like a photographer, it's like, oh, so you're not doing anything,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
So I had this interview yesterday, with a job, and it was like my first I don't want to say like first legit interview because I've had interviews for jobs before. This is definitely the most in-depth interview I've ever been through because I had to do like a phone call with someone last week, and then I did like a Google Hangouts call this week with 2 different people. So it was definitely a new experience, and they asked some pretty good questions, you know, stuff I was not, because like I prepare, you prepare for the interview and stuff, but they asked some like pretty
Stuff you weren't expecting.
Stuff I was not expecting, like not necessarily like hard stuff, but like stuff like I was not anticipating.
You were like caught off guard by it more. Or less.
So like, I thought it'd be fun if I asked you a few of the questions that I was asked in my interview, just to see how you react.
Yeah, ask me a couple of hard ones. I'll try to tell you what my honest response would be.
Okay. I want to ask you stuff that I was not anticipating them to ask me, okay?
So I wasn't anticipating this, so I'm already off.
Exactly. That's why I brought it up now. So what are some of your hobbies?
Okay. I really enjoy watching movies. And I'm a big fan of tabletop board games and also RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that.
Okay.
I guess also like videography and stuff. I have a podcast with my friend Luke.
Okay. I did not bring up the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea not to tell them you have a podcast.
I did not say anything.
They'd probably like listen like what like you would.
Not that they can Google my name and find the podcast. Yeah. I'm not. This is not like a hidden thing that we do.
Yeah.
But I did not bring that up.
Also, not like we've ever said anything like damning on here.
No.
But
I'm very proud of this podcast.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah.
But I didn't bring it up in the interview.
Yeah.
Though. But
actually, you know what? I'm going to bring it up because it's free advertising. I have a podcast. Go listen.
Yeah. Maybe I get like 2 new listeners for one episode.
We get one. Yeah, you get a bump in viewership.
Okay. What's something that you had to go out of your way that was hard for you, and you had to go out of your comfort zone to solve?
Fuck.
Yeah. See?
Out of my comfort zone to solve. My comfort zone. And
I'm not even interviewing you for a job.
Yeah.
This is just two friends talking.
I feel like, I feel like I can think of many, I don't know why, because I remember feeling many a times being super anxious about something and then having to figure out just how to get over it, just is the one that's coming to my mind. Because I worked at the Saratoga racetrack, and I don't know if this will be a proper answer, but what terrified me the most about that job was I would have to climb these ladders to get into the camera booths of these towers, and they were like 50, 60 feet off the ground, and I would literally be terrified to go to work every day because I thought I was going to slip and fall. And I think the way I got around that was just by doing it, just forcing myself to go do it. And I got less and less afraid of like climbing up. I got to the point where I would like hang off the ladder sometimes, and like I would do dangerous shit that like I wouldn't tell anyone like you should not be doing. But like,
right,
yeah. Not that I don't think a job wants to hear like I'll cut corners and do dangerous shit hanging off a 60-foot ladder.
Maybe they do.
Yeah, but yeah, honestly, yeah, the way I got over that, because I was literally like anxious every night because I thought I was gonna fall and like break my legs or just die or something. And the way I just got over that was just by climbing every day. I would just climb as fast as I could. That's how I got over it.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a proper or no.
No. I'm gonna write this down in my notebook.
You're writing it down.
And I won't respond to that.
Okay.
But so what's your biggest weakness?
Biggest weakness, definitely.
You're a hard worker.
Yeah, I'm super. I'm just
so dedicated to the job.
I'm just really talented. I think I'm definitely indecisiveness. That I definitely would say is my weakness.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Questions for you?
Yeah, like do you have any questions for like the company? In general.
Okay. Are you married?
No.
What's starting salary before taxes?
Not enough.
Yeah, no. What? So okay. Let me try to think of like. I want to try to think of like an actual like good question. Am I
hired?
Yeah. Do you want to hire me? No. Am I asking questions of the am I asking questions of this imaginary company Is this similar to like the one you interviewed for?
It's for me or for whatever company I work for that's currently hiring you.
Okay. What am I going to do on a daily basis?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's an imaginary company. I can't tell you. I'm sorry. Until you're hired.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a fun bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang up my.
Also, doing a Google Hangouts interview is like complicated.
Oh, is it?
Because you're like, do I look at the camera? Do I look at their faces? I try to look at the camera when I'm talking, but then I'm just like looking at like a black circle, you know?
I try to, when I'm doing like a Zoom conference, I try to always look at everyone else, but I try to make sure I'm always like my head centered. You could see like my face at all times.
Right.
Sort of thing.
Also, I'm so used to like Zoom now. It's like first time using Google Hangouts in like a while. I wasn't sure if like my camera was on or not. Like, because at the end I was like, oh my God, was I just like a blank screen the entire time? Like, that's embarrassing. But I found out that you have to like press a button in the top right corner so that you can see yourself, but the default is that you can't see yourself.
Oh, okay.
So they could see me. So I was like, oh my God.
At least
like,
you weren't like that judge who put the kitty filter on.
No, I didn't do any filters or anything. I wore a nice shirt and a nice tie.
I'm not a cat. You're like, no. We know you're not a cat. That was the best part of that video. I'm not a cat.
What is this video?
You ever seen that?
No.
So it was because you can't go into court anymore to like have like do like trial. I don't know what the case was, but it was an online Zoom trial, and it was the judge zooming in, the two lawyers, and I think they might have had assistants with them or something. But that's all it was. It was the judge, the two lawyers that are the defendant and the prosecutor and the defense or whatever. I don't know, legal shit.
Yeah, prosecution and defense.
Yeah. And I think it was the judge. It was the judge or one of the lawyers when they logged in. It had a kitty filter on, so like their face was a cat. And I don't know if they were. I think it was like he was using someone else's computer at the time. So it was like this cat. It's like Snapchat filters, like the cat.
Yeah.
And like when you're talking, the cat's mouth opens up. So this lawyer's talking, and he's just like a floating cat head, like talking back to them. And they're like, we're gonna need you to take off the filter because He's like, oh no, I'm trying. He's like, I just don't know how it even got on here. And he's like, but then he goes, I promise though. He's like, I promise though, I am not a cat. They're like, no, we know you're not a cat. We just need you to take this filter off.
God damn.
Old people, man.
This new age of internet nonsense is hilarious.
Forcing old people to adapt now, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, we've all had to do like a little adapting lately because of everything, you know.
I feel like more or less for like our generation, it's like inconvenient. For older people, it's like
impossible.
It might as well just be like witchcraft. Like we're asking them to like learn like ancient like Aramaic or something like that.
I know. I wonder when it's all gonna be over. You know,
hopefully
like
soon.
just the pandemic in general. I saw 40% of the capital region is vaccinated now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's good. I saw a video saying that we need to reach 70% to get herd immunity.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. So? I don't know. A lot of people are against the vaccine in general.
I mean, I'm not like an anti-vaxxer in any way. I just think it's bullshit that like, okay, I got a polio vaccine when I'm a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
You never get polio after you get that. You get this COVID vaccine. They're like, you probably still get COVID. And it's like, I understand that it works like a flu shot, essentially, where it's like, you know, if you can't get rid of the flu completely, you know, that's like something that'll like always come back. But it's like,
yeah,
if we're trying to get back to the way everything used to be, you know, it's like, shouldn't you be giving me something that guarantees like this, like virus, if it's as deadly as you're saying it is going to go away?
But I think if they could, they would though. I mean, COVID's so like kind of new and we still don't understand how it works like completely and like how it affects your body and stuff. So just the fact that there's vaccines at all at this point in time, even if they're only like emergency use vaccines that like are not like tested as much as like other vaccines, is still kind of like crazy that like it even exists that you can get some sort of resistance for
it's
it.
It's great that like it's around, but it's like if in reality what everyone's waiting for to have everything start up again is like we need this, like you can't get sick we can't get COVID anymore, so like it doesn't spread. And it's like, oh, this is still going to be spreading. It's like, are we going to wait 4 or 5 years before like?
I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think COVID is more like the flu in that it will probably be a yearly thing that comes around, just like the flu.
Probably, yeah.
And that it will never completely go away.
Yeah. But it's like, at what point can we like just like go back, just like do normal shit?
That, I don't know. I'm optimistic. I feel like this summer,
because it's like the way everyone's been acting is like we're finding out what germs are for the first time,
right?
And it's like the rate at which people started washing their hands now is kind of crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
who didn't before?
Yeah, it's like oh, like I don't know, like the idea of like disease never existed before to them.
Yeah, it is crazy how it took this one thing to make people realize, like, because like in Japan, if you had a cold or something,
it's
you would wear a mask.
Yeah, it's just common courtesy to wear a mask. Like, yeah,
so you wouldn't infect other people. Mm-hmm. That was common courtesy over there.
Yeah.
That never happens in America. If you have the sniffles, you just go on the fucking subway and you sneeze all over the place.
You still go to work. You lick the pole that everyone touches.
Yeah, you don't give a shit. So I think we're going to see more of like, because also like flu transmission was way down this year because everyone was wearing masks and like social distancing. So I feel like we're going to see a lot more like masks and stuff during like flu season, during like, which is also like when COVID like tended to peak and stuff, and like less in like the summertime. I don't know if that will be mandated, but you know, I would be fine wearing a mask if I had any sort of sickness.
It doesn't bother. Yeah, no, the mask thing doesn't bother me at all. I'm not one of those people who are like, I'm wearing a mask is inconvenience to me. Like, no, it's fine. It's clearly doing something because it's keeping because obviously the flu was like almost nothing this past year.
Yeah, exactly.
So clearly something. Yeah, it works. But like, I don't know, this whole like being like, I promise it's going to get back to normal, but not right now, like sort of thing.
It is taking a lot longer.
And it's like, we've passed the 1 year mark. We're going to.
Right.
And also like the thing is, not to sound shitty, but it's like the way that we're acting. I feel like every time I drive down the street, you'd see like bodies everywhere. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe there's a long-term effect from this that we don't know about. Like, if you got it, like, I don't know, you're fucked when you reach 40 or something like that. But, like, I don't know. I feel like the way we're acting right now is like movie apocalypse. Like,
right.
There's bodies everywhere. We have to burn everything. And it's like, I don't think it's that bad.
Right. I think most of that stems from, like, we still don't know 100% what, like, COVID does. And just any general confusion in the populace always stems in, like, chaos, basically, or, like, an overreach of government.
Yeah. Also, I feel like there's definitely a lack of, like, from the get-go, this wasn't taken seriously.
Yeah, and the government handled it poorly in that they didn't enforce any quarantine at all until it was way too late.
Yeah.
And then they enforced quarantine, which brought people into closed environments, which made people more sick. So it's like, you either like don't quarantine at all or you quarantine in time.
Yeah.
But like neither of those happened. We quarantined probably at like the worst possible time when it was starting to infect everyone.
I mean, like when you heard about this over in China, the way everyone was acting was like, oh, that's a China problem.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it came over here, it was like, it was already too late. Because at that point, you have it, everyone's going to get it.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, definitely, I feel like precautions could have been taken from the get-go, because I feel like from the first time, probably whatever agency heard about it, they were like, whatever, this isn't going to be a problem. And then they're like, oh, wait, nope, It's a problem. We should probably do something about it right now.
Yeah, it's like Italy didn't give a shit about it at all. And then
Italy
a
gives a shit
ton
about
of
a few
people
things.
started dying. And then they were like, okay, let's shut down.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, way too late. You know?
Exactly.
New Zealand heard about it, shut down immediately. They had like 6 cases.
Yeah,
and now they're
it's gone.
literally filling stadiums with people.
Yeah.
And like
Which-
living normal life.
Yeah. Which, like, yeah, I feel like
The ideal way. I know it's hard to compare New Zealand because they have 4 million people and we
Yeah,
have 365
they're
million
also
people.
literally, they're like an island, you know?
Yeah, so it's not comparable, but it is something to say that like we could have done something earlier and probably stemmed the outbreak of it.
And this probably wouldn't have been as big of a...
It's kind of like the Princess Diamond or the Diamond Princess cruise ship, whatever, the Princess Diamond. It was like they kept. It was like the cruise ship that got like 6 people on there had COVID. Do you remember this in the very beginning of
and then
COVID
they
before we shut down?
They kept the ship just out at sea.
And then instead of coming to shore, they kept the ship at sea, and then everyone on the ship got it because it's like, of course everyone's gonna get it.
Yeah,
if you're keeping all the people in there.
First off, I always thought cruise ships were disgusting to begin with.
They're so disgusting.
Because, like...
How could they possibly be clean? You're with 1,000 people at sea for
touching
months.
Everything. And also, everyone's drinking the entire time, not giving a shit. Everyone's on, like, vacation mentality of, like, oh, this isn't my place. I'm not going to, like, clean it or try to, like, take any proper care of, like, anything around me. But, and so, yeah, it's just a disease. You're literally sitting on a floating, you're literally in a floating city that's just entirely just disease ridden.
Yeah.
Like germ bacteria ridden.
Guaranteed. Do you think every night they're like scrubbing the ship clean?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
But even years before that, you remember that one ship broke down in the middle of the ocean? I think it was a Carnival cruise ship broke down in the middle of the ocean.
The one that tipped over?
No, not the Costa Concordia.
Oh, okay.
No, there was a Carnival cruise ship where there was engine failure.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't get the ship. They couldn't get the ship moving, so they were stuck at sea. So they sent like emergency things out, like because they needed, and I think they were stuck at sea. It was either 4 days to a week. There was enough food. There was enough stuff that they could have kept everyone, comfortable while waiting for. Everyone went fucking ballistic on there. Like people started like stealing people's food, like stealing stuff from other people because they were afraid they weren't getting enough. People started smearing shit on the walls and like just like going to the bathroom wherever. Like I don't know. I don't think humans are far off from like just turning into like a savage like crocodile person.
Right.
Within like a switch of like that, like the sense that like the fear of like I don't know, like your caveman instincts kick in or something like that when you think like you're gonna die or stuck in the middle of the ocean or something.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because I don't think Carnival Cruises knows how to govern. They don't
have a body of government.
They don't have a body of government on the ship to establish any kind of order.
There's the great water lord.
As soon as the ship stops and you know where they keep the shrimp cocktail, you're the lord.
You go crazy.
You are the king of that ship. No one can stop you. The captain can't do anything. If you have a whole of queso cheese and chips and shrimp cocktail, you are the new lord, and you do with that what you will.
There's the different factions of this cruise ship. There's the above people and the people who like live in like the engine room.
Exactly. And you dictate who that is.
Have you ever seen
and you live a life of luxury.
Have you ever seen Mad Max Thunderdome?
No.
There was it's like there's a city called it's named Thunder. I think the city's named Thunderdome. No, the city's named Gastown. It's Gastown, and if there's disagreements or like things need to be settled, you go into the Thunderdome to fight. And it's like you get tied up with bungee cords, and then you each get a chainsaw, and you can bounce around the Thunderdome and like attack people with a chainsaw. But the way Gastown worked was like it was like a trading commerce city, but everything was run from like the people who live underground. Like there's like all these underground pipes, and there's like this little mutant man who shut off all the power to above, and he's like, I run Gastown now. I'm the king of Gastown.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like what
that's how Carnival Cruise is
going to be happening. Whoever finds the shrimp cocktail, I'm the king of the carnival. I'm the king of the carnival.
God damn. So, anyways, we talked about Carnival Cruises. Do you want to talk about Derek Chauvin?
Oh. See,
do you want to take a hard left?
We went from light to lighter.
You want to take a hard left on this one?
Yeah, no, we can talk about it.
Derek Chauvin, right? That's his name?
Siobhan. Kevin.
Where the fuck? He doesn't deserve to have his name be remembered.
No.
Yeah,
Chauvin or something like that.
Yeah, Derek Chauvin.
It's the guy it's the cop that obviously murdered George Floyd.
Yeah. So he was sentenced to 12 and a half years and has bail revoked. So he technically gets sentenced 8 weeks from now. But he was on bail and free, like to do what he pleases.
That's pretty wild.
That is pretty crazy, right?
I feel like the in and outs of like the way like the legal system works, like the parts that like you don't hear. I think everyone assumes like everything gets done right away.
Right.
Which is not the case.
But okay, so when did George Floyd get murdered?
Jesus,
it was like a year ago, right?
Last year.
Like almost a year ago.
Yeah,
today.
Like in like it was
April.
like beginning. Yeah, it was like around it's got to be a year now. Cuz I was kind of like we were in the like early stages of quarantine. Cuz we thought, you die if you go outside. And then it's got to be like
it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's
been probably almost a year now. Okay. So this guy he wasn't arrested at first. He was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a fucking idiot and didn't like research it enough, but I don't think he was like penalized very much.
I don't think so.
And then he was finally arrested once there was public outcry.
It wasn't until after all the the protests and the riots.
It took the biggest civil rights protest in decades to get this guy arrested, right?
Fine, we'll do something about that.
Right. So he's arrested, but he gets out on bail, and he's been free until yesterday.
Crazy. Yeah.
So he can do whatever the fuck he wants. I mean, granted, he's not a cop anymore, but he still can do whatever he wants until yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally yesterday, the verdict is reached, and then the judge revokes his bail. So he was led away in handcuffs yesterday. So he is in jail now for 8 weeks until the final verdict is reached. And I texted a lawyer friend about this because I wasn't clear on like how it worked. But so I guess he was sentenced to 12 and a half years in prison, which is really like probably 9 years because good behavior and whatnot, or 8 years even. So like 12 and a half years, right? Apparently the judge who will be this, I asked about this, it will be the same judge who preceded this case with the jury and whatnot, the trial, who does the verdict in 8 weeks. It'll be the same judge, and he doesn't have to follow like the general guidelines for prison. He can determine his own,
because it's in the end it's the judge's discretion, right?
Right.
What happens?
So the general guideline, I guess, for first offense for, I think it was second-degree manslaughter. There's like 3 different charges.
Yeah, there was like second-degree manslaughter, like intention. There's like then there's like intentional something.
I'm too dumb to know what like any of these.
There was like 3 or 4 charges that he got convicted on.
I think it was 3 charges in total, but I'm too fucking. I don't know enough about the legal system to know like what the exact charges mean. But he was convicted of like of second-degree manslaughter for 12 and a half years. But I guess the judge doesn't have to follow these guidelines. He can sentence him for longer or shorter as he deems fit. as long as the jury convicts him guilty, which they did in, I guess, like 10 hours, right? Like they
did it in 10 hours.
Right. So, but to me, I mean, personally, 12 and a half years, is that not like a fucking super light sentence?
Yeah, don't you get like, for like murder, isn't it like 25 to life or something like that?
I don't know, but I know that fucking people who sell pot get like fucking 10 years.
Yeah, get 25
in
to
prison.
Life, yeah.
And that's legal in most states now.
Yeah.
So why the fuck did this guy get 12 and a half years in prison? That seems kind of light in terms of like everything that happened. I mean, I know he was a cop and it was all in the line of duty or like it was all in like the service and stuff like that. What happened
to like the guys, like the four other cops who were just kind of like standing there watching him?
Weren't they arrested too?
I thought they were I thought they were going to get charged with like.
They'll definitely get like lighter.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to get 12 years, but like you'll get the same thing like if you were in the car with someone who like. I mean, obviously this is different, but it's like if you're in the car with someone and you get pulled over and like they have drugs on them, and then they just charge you also because you were with them,
right? It's like accomplice.
Yeah, like you're an accomplice to the crime, even though you weren't aware a crime was being committed.
Right. But they were aware.
But yeah, that's different because it's not like they didn't know their buddy had a bag of weed on him. They were watching him like put his knee on this dude's
They were
neck.
telling people to fucking turn the cameras off and stand away.
Back up. Yeah.
Did you watch the whole video?
I couldn't watch the whole thing. I saw enough of it.
I did watch it. I watched the entire thing. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me, but I did watch the entire video.
I saw enough when.
And it is fucking like. It's insulting that this guy got 12 and a half years in prison. I mean, I know it's like a win for the justice system, and it's good enough that maybe it's good enough that this guy got like guilty verdict in general. But this guy kneeled on a man's neck for basically like 8 minutes and 46 seconds, right? For 9 minutes, basically. Yeah. He had his knee on this fucking guy's neck, and the guy is asking for his mother, saying, please just give me some water, saying he can't breathe. So he's not fucking struggling at all.
Yeah.
He's not like a threat to anyone. You have him under control. You have him under your complete... Congratulations, Derek. You have complete power in this situation.
Yeah.
You win, okay? You win.
You got a dude if you just like had this dude handcuffed down...
Against a car. Yeah. Not even on the fucking ground.
Even like handcuffed...
You win.
Yeah, handcuffed down on the ground. He's down.
Your power trip, like go ahead and go in a back alley and jerk yourself fucking off because you win. You are in complete power. Congratulations, you win.
Yeah.
For this fucking guy who may or may not have paid with a fake $20 bill.
Yeah,
which is fucking insane. But your knee is on this guy's fucking neck for 9 minutes, and he goes unconscious after like 6 minutes. And you're still on his neck?
And you're, like at no point you're never like, oh, maybe I should get up or like see if this guy's still awake or like.
No. You're just like, oh, yeah, he's definitely secure now. Fuck you. You should be in jail for fucking life for that kind of shit. Because that is the ultimate power trip like I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. How
this guy is not a fucking like treated as other criminals are in the jury, like in the prosecution system.
Yeah, no, it's if anyone else did something like that, they would probably get the book thrown at them. I don't understand why the same thing doesn't happen in this scenario. I mean,
it's because he's a fucking cop.
Yeah,
and he's protected by like the police unions, and you know it's just like all in the line of duty and shit like that.
Yeah, you don't understand how hard this job is, sort of thing.
I get the job's hard.
Yeah.
And there's great cops out there doing the right thing all the time.
Yeah,
who work a thankless job.
Yeah, you're working like a civil service job.
Yeah.
That like I understand like no one will ever say thank you or something like that, but it's like at the same time not everyone who does a job does it well and does a good job. There are terrible teachers out there. There are terrible nurses. There are terrible doctors. There's going to be terrible cops also.
Right.
And it's like the fact that like you can't hold these people who do something wrong, who are supposed to be the enforcers of the law.
Exactly.
Like, you can't hold
And when
them.
there's a terrible doctor who just gives oxycodone to all his patients or is like does like botched surgeries all the time, they get fucking reprimanded for that.
Yeah.
Why can we not see as a society that there are bad cops out
Yeah.
there that need to be reprimanded for the shit they do? I don't understand.
Yeah, I can't seem to understand why the idea of the people who enforce the law should also be held to, like, you know, the same, you know, like the same standards at which they're enforcing, sort of thing.
They should be held to higher standards.
Yeah.
They are the law
Yeah,
in terms of general interaction with the public. They are the law.
Yeah, like you become a police officer, a state trooper, sheriff, whatever. You've been given the right. We as a society have given you the right to enforce the law and, you know, make sure it's upheld. But as error is the human, I guarantee they violate the law too. And when they do it to such a degree as, like, you know, taking a man's life unnecessarily, shouldn't you be held accountable for such things? Like, I understand why like the idea of like asking accountability from police officers is such like a big ask.
There should be complete accountability.
Yeah.
I mean, they should wear body cams at all times.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion. Like there was that one cop a year ago who turned his body cam off and didn't realize it didn't show up for 30 seconds and planted cocaine in this guy's trunk. And they found out that he planted it because he thought he turned his body cam off. Mm-hmm. And then it was still recording and you literally see him putting cocaine in a guy's trunk. Like, what the fuck?
Like, they shouldn't even have the ability to turn that camera off. It should just be running constantly.
They should not have the ability. Why would you ever need to turn the camera off?
Yeah.
If you're doing your job, like if you work any job ever and there's security cameras, why would you ever need to turn the security camera off? And these same people who are like in support of him are like, oh, why are the security cameras off when what the fuck is his name? Got murdered.
Oh, Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm not saying like that was a fucking weird situation. But they're like, oh, why was Jeffrey Epstein's camera turned off? What conspiracy? Why can any cop turn their body camera off?
Yeah.
Why would that ever be a situation if you're doing your job correctly? I've never been in a situation at the workplace where I was doing something and there's security cameras on me. I was like, I should probably turn these off.
Let's turn those off, yeah.
It never, because you should always be in a position where if you're doing something correctly, you can be videotaped doing it and have evidence to prove that you did it correctly.
Like, I'm like doing my job.
Because this also works in favors of cops who are doing their job.
Yeah.
Because if they get accused of something wrong, like wrongfully accused of something.
Watch the tape.
Yeah. Wouldn't you want, if you were a cop and you were doing the right thing all the time and you were accused of something as horrendous as this, wouldn't you want photo evidence of this?
Yeah, I'd be like, look, watch, check tape. Like,
exactly.
I did nothing wrong.
But the proof is in that
they don't.
All the cops around him were like, turn the cameras off, get away, like step away and stuff. Why don't you want the cameras on? Because you know something fucks up.
You're doing something wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this guy, George Sivan, or
I don't even know what the fuck his name is.
I've said it wrong so many times, but
it's Derek something.
Derek Sivan, right? He worked with George Floyd as security guards, and they had issues before.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
They worked in the same place before, and they're both security guards. And I guess George Floyd brought up something to management that he was abusing his position as security guard.
Oh.
And so they had a personal beef between them. Mm-hmm. So clearly this was something personal they had already going on that he just used his position of power to take advantage of and literally murder him.
Yeah.
So that's also cool. But and then I love the argument like, oh, he was on fentanyl. He was like, he held a pregnant woman at gunpoint.
Yeah,
I
love that the argument for him not saying the crime that like the bad stuff that someone does, you shouldn't hold them accountable for. But like, does that justify like years down the road for being like, oh, this guy got killed in a hinky situation, something that should have happened? Does he deserve that? Like,
right.
I guarantee me and you, I mean, I haven't done anything crazy in my life, but we've probably done something that someone might be able to say, oh, you deserve to die for that. And like, if it happens down the road, like a cop, like, I don't know, decides to shoot me or something, it's like, well, he wasn't all that great of a guy, so he probably had it coming. Like,
it's like,
I don't know, is that like
if he didn't go to trial for either of those things, he was not seen by a jury of peers, he was not sentenced for anything, you know, it does not matter what this person did. I mean, hot take, he could be fucking Hitler, okay? Right? Just walking down the road, did all the things Hitler did, okay? And maybe Hitler's a bad example, but he could be a completely shit person, right? And then go, you know what, fuck it. He could be Hitler, okay? And did all the things Hitler did, right? And then go and try to use a fake $20 bill and then walk out of the store and get arrested for that specific moment and then get kneeled on his neck for 9 minutes and die. Does that mean that Hitler was a bad person? Yes, of course Hitler's a bad person. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's probably a bad example, but I'm going to keep going with it because I'm going with it already. But in a completely isolated incident where the cop sees one particular aspect of it without having any previous judgment on the person who did something before this incident happened, and to kill them on the spot over the course of 9 minutes to murder them.
And they're not even killing them over the fact of like shit they've done previously. I mean, obviously in this case they had history. So like, but like,
right.
Let's just say this cop never knew him before. Kills him in this moment. Did he have it coming? Essentially, is what the thing is, right? What we're saying.
Well, it's like it does not matter. Hitler is a bad example. I regret bringing that up, but because obviously everyone would kill Hitler if they had the chance to, like, you know.
Almost everyone would kill Hitler.
Yes, the majority of people would be like, okay, Hitler deserves to die.
I would say 90% of people would kill Hitler.
Yeah,
maybe 80. There's 20% out there.
Hopefully more than 90%.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's more, but I'm not so sure anymore.
But I guess my point was that someone can be a completely shit person and do a lot of wrong things in their life, but in a completely isolated incident with police, and the police see one thing, and they don't pose a threat at all, and the police kill them, that's not okay. Because they're in our country, there's a justice system, and there's judges, and there's juries, and there's executioners. Cops are not the judge. They are not the jury. They should not be the executioner.
Exactly.
In any case at all.
They're the enforcer.
The only time cops should use lethal force is if someone is threatening them or anyone else in order to protect other people.
Yeah.
And this guy was not protecting anyone at all.
Yeah. There was no threat to anyone else.
There was no threat at all to anyone else in this particular circumstance. Therefore, I do not give a fuck what this guy did before any of this happened.
Yeah.
I don't care what the fuck you post on social media about who he was as a person. It does not matter.
Yeah, you don't have it coming, yeah.
It does not pertain to this specific circumstance in any bit because it does not matter for the particular case at hand.
Yeah. I don't know how all like these shootings happen, like in Colorado and stuff recently, and like Atlanta that just happened, and like these guys who are fucking firing live rounds and killing people seem to like just get arrested, sort of. Well, I think the guy in Atlanta killed
like
himself.
Kyle Rittengard, right?
Yeah,
or whatever the fuck his name was, had a fucking M16 and was like opening fire on people, and he was arrested like later on in like a different state, like completely fine.
But like a dude who has a fake 20 gets the cops called on him. And then the police use excessive force in that scenario. I don't understand. Or, I mean, any case. Think of, like, go all the way back to Eric Gardner in New York City when he was selling
cigarettes.
Fucking Lucy's on the street. And 6 cops took him down and thought it was okay for all of them to pile on top of him. That's where the I can't breathe
and choke
came
him
from.
to death.
Yeah, he suffocated to death.
And it's like, if someone's telling you, I can't breathe, please some water, and calling for their mother, is that not any indication that, okay, this person is now completely powerless in the situation? Let's do something else. It's clearly a power trip at that point. Yeah, because like, you feed off someone saying this shit, you know?
Yeah, I really don't know how people, especially with that argument of like, he was a bad guy, so he had this coming to him. Like, I don't know how...
You're just trying to make an excuse for the cop.
I don't know how you as like a human being can say like, I'm a good person. Like, I'm a Christian person, like, because there's people out there who say that, you know,
right?
And they're like, well, he had it coming.
Yeah,
and
Jesus would want this. Jesus, who said, "Turn the other cheek." If someone does you wrong,
the dude on the
would
cross
definitely want you to fucking kneel on someone's neck.
Yeah, the
for
dude
9
on the
minutes.
cross who like even like gave forgiveness to the guy next to him.
Amazing comprehension of Christianity. That is.
Yeah, you read the book just like the rest of it. We all read the same book.
That's definitely what Jesus wanted, to save people from their sins. 100%.
Leviticus 6:19. Cops can do whatever the fuck they want. You remember that verse?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I think Jesus actually said that.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. He never said anything about gay marriage, but he definitely said that.
Yeah. He wasn't clear on that, but he was clear on Blue Lives Matter.
But people who are like, oh, this person was a shithead beforehand. And stuff
that doesn't.
It's like, it's so clear. Like, when you see someone die, it's like no one wants to take the facts of like exactly how the death happened and the circumstances. They want to dig into someone's personal life to make it like, oh, this cop was justified. He was not. There's never a justification unless he was at risk of dying, which of course no cop should be at, like, ideally, like, no cop should be at risk of dying, you know? And if they are threatened, if they're threatened their life in any way, of course they should, like, protect themselves. And if anyone else is at harm, of course they should take precautions and you know, do their justice on the street.
Obviously I don't think anyone's but
we're not talking about that.
I think that's the fucked up part is people are like, well, then you clearly don't want cops to do their jobs. And it's like, no, we want cops to do their jobs. Like, if they're being shot at, shoot back. If the community's endangered, protect them, please. You know, enforce the law when bad people are breaking the law. But when, you know, some dude is like selling loosies on the side of the street, has a hinky $20 bill, you know, I mean, what else has happened? Slept in his car at a Wendy's,
was walking around with a fucking Skittles and Twisted Tea in his pocket. That wasn't even a cop, though. But that was just a security guard.
But still, like, those are cases where excessive force is used. Whereas, I don't know, in like these extreme cases, it seems like nothing happened. Like,
I've seen a lot of videos of cops being like, "This is the most fucked up shit. Like, this should not happen, like, at all.
Yeah,
like, there's no way that like this should have happened. You know, so like." Even cops are like good cops are on the side of like.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think anyone who, I don't think any decent human being or decent police officer is like that's the way. That's the way I run things.
Right, because there's a lot of cops who have came across this situation and saw like maybe like let's say for argument's sake he was using a fake $20 bill and he had knowledge of it.
Yeah,
there's many cops who have handled it completely differently.
We're just like, fine, you're under arrest. We're going in. I don't need to use excessive. Like, you're getting in the car.
You're clearly detained. You're getting in the car. We'll process you, and then you'll have your your date to defend yourself and stuff.
I understand. Like,
this guy didn't even get to defend himself.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. Like, someone fights back at you, fine, whatever. But like, I watched the beginning of the video, and they put him in the cop car. They could have just shut the doors and drove away. That could have been the end of it. Like, this could have been like something like we're not even talking about. They had him in the car.
Right. That's the thing. This could have never been a public thing.
It was they decided to take him out and put him on the ground and kneel on him.
On his neck.
Yeah.
Not on his back.
Yeah, you had him in the car. You had him detained already. I mean, granted, he was screaming and stuff, but you could have just shut the doors, drove to the police station, booked him, done.
Right. And you still win. You still win in that situation. Yeah. Congratulations. You feel like you've won in that situation. But you just had to go the 25 extra steps into where we are now.
Yeah.
And so now you're going to prison.
Yeah.
And I fucking don't feel bad for you in the fucking slightest.
Yeah, no, he had that one coming.
So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But you want to wrap things up?
You want to take a break? Want to talk about Dogecoin?
Okay, we can do that.
And come back for a little bit, talk about Dogecoin for a little bit.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right. And we're back.
Hope you enjoyed that break as much as we did.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify, I hate Hitler. And if I could kill him, I would. You know, fuck the law.
I'm happy you got that out of the way because I was wondering.
Yeah, no, I know everyone was probably curious about my thoughts on Hitler.
I want to know your stance on Hitler. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've said it so far in the show's history, but Hitler, I don't agree with like the majority of things he says. You know,
He didn't seem like a total team player.
Yeah, he didn't seem like someone who was willing to see everyone's point of view.
He wasn't a people person. I mean, he was like a people person, but not like the people's person.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. He wasn't the people's person.
Yeah.
You know, a specific portion of people, he was their person.
Yeah. Actually, there was a lot, like, like 75% of the planet. He was like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Like if you're a Jewish, homosexual,
black.
Any other, black, or like
eventually
anything else, but eventually Asian, but he was friends with the Asians for a little bit.
He I think they said like they found like some like his
common ground
or whatever. He he's like us and the Japanese work together. He's like, but in the end, we're getting rid of them also.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't like planning on it being like a
He's
joint.
Like, yeah, we're not
a joint partnership in the end.
We're not like this. We're like this.
It's definitely more like Japanese because he needs someone to attack America.
Yeah, he needs someone close to America. Also, the Japanese were pretty nationalist, just like the
because they were trying to take land in like China. They wanted Korea and stuff.
Yeah,
so they were also into like conquering. And also Italy. That's the weird one to me is Italy was like part of the, but not towards the end, right? They weren't Axis towards the end. They were neutral or allies.
It was Mussolini,
right?
Who
and he was also a dictator.
Yes, he was a fascist also. Mm-hmm. And he was his thing though. He was very like he was like a very like he was very like I'm a big tough guy sort of thing. You've seen video. He like gives a speech and he does like this big like
hello, here I am.
It's funny because it's almost like a comic book character or something.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, people actually took this guy seriously.
Well, people took Hitler seriously, and now we all laugh at his mustache.
Yeah,
imagine ruining entire like mustache for like the entire rest of history.
Well, Charlie Chaplin had it before he did.
I know. And now it's ruined.
Just as some people kicked him out of art school.
Wasn't that mustache because he wore like a gas mask and it was more convenient to have that kind of mustache?
Oh, I don't know. I
never heard that?
I never heard the story behind the mustache.
I heard it was because like the toothbrush mustache was because if you wore a gas mask, a mustache could like, because he was in World War One. Yeah, the mustache could like get into the gas mask.
Oh,
but if you wore,
it wouldn't keep like a clean seal.
Yeah, but if you wore like just like this tiny little one, the gas mask would work, and that's why it was like beneficial to have. Which, if you're going for, if you want a mustache that badly, like I feel like it's just more beneficial to shave the entire thing. Yeah. I'd rather have no mustache than
just this,
the tiniest little like dimple of a mustache, because it's literally Hitler's like entire like identity. Yeah. Now, I mean, not his entire identity. His fashion statement was his entire identity.
He lived and died by that mustache.
Jesus Christ, I'm saying a lot of terrible Hitler things this episode.
No, I mean, I don't know. Unless like in that time period when you had that mustache, that was like a statement, like I was a World War I guy sort of thing.
Maybe, but I know that I knew about Hitler before I knew what he did in school, before learning what he did, because I knew the face of Hitler with the haircut and the mustache. His face was recognizable to me before any of the deeds that he did, just in learning. I knew he was like I must have been like elementary school or like early middle school before I knew about Hitler, like exactly what he did, you know?
That's a good point.
I knew he was a bad guy, but I when we like, it's like lesson 1 in 8th grade, when we learned about Hitler and like what he did, I already knew the face because of the mustache.
Yeah. I don't, you know what, thinking about it, I don't know when like my first like introduction like to who Hitler was, or even like, you know, just seeing his face. Like I don't even remember the first time I like saw his face, you know.
But you probably knew the term Hitler stash before you knew what Hitler did in like school.
Probably.
That's how it was for me. I had heard the term Hitler stash before I knew anything about who he was. You know, kind of weird how that works.
It's like one of those things, like historically, like it's so ingrained in our society. It's like,
because it can never be done again.
Yeah.
There will never be a time like maybe like hundreds or like 1,000 years from now, people might do it again. But as of right now, you could never like pull off that kind of like look and walk down the street.
Like the comb over with the...
Yeah, you can never do it because it's just so everyone knows. Like, no one thinks, oh, this guy's bringing back toothbrush mustaches. They're like, is this guy Hitler?
Well, it's kind of funny. People are bringing back like that
anti-Semitism?
Yeah, that's been around forever. No,
it's in style again.
Yeah. Well, people are bringing like that hipster, like I look like a 19th century, like early 19th century, like regular day, like the very
coat and tails,
like the slacks with like the boots with like
the vest,
a white shirt with suspenders, and
which I don't understand at all, because all these things are less convenient than like suspenders. I'm asking, like, for real, have you ever been in a situation where you're wearing a belt and you're like, man, I wish I had suspenders on right now?
I always preferred suspenders to a belt.
Really?
Yeah.
I've
just because
never...
I felt like I never got like a squeeze when I sat down. When I always wore suspenders, at least, like, I don't know, I felt like they were always, not that like I thought like I'd like lose my belt or anything. I just feel like it felt comfortable wearing suspenders than compared to a belt.
See, I feel the opposite.
Really?
I've always felt like when I'm wearing suspenders, like they're like rubbing against my shoulders and stuff. And with a belt, I've never really felt an issue.
I've never, because I used to wear suspenders in high school when I would dress up for like sports and stuff, and I'd wear suspenders for my pants, and I always felt more comfortable with the suspenders on than I did with a belt.
I'm the opposite, I guess.
And you could always, I mean, I guess also back then, like, maybe it was more expensive to have a belt or something. I don't know, because everyone had suspenders.
Or it was more expensive to put loops in pants.
Maybe.
And easier to make suspenders that had clips on.
If you were making clothes, it was probably easier just to like leave it like,
basic
without the loops, and then you just clipped them on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I always thought it was comfortable to wear suspenders. There was a couple times just for fun, I had kind of like some loose fitting jeans and I wore suspenders with those. And I was like, wow, this actually worked out pretty well.
Maybe there's something to that. But I always used to like have a pocket watch on me. Like in high school, I thought it was cool to have like a pocket watch.
Wait, did you seriously have a pocket watch on?
For real.
No shit.
Yeah, 100%. For like 2 years, I had a pocket watch like in my pocket to check the time and stuff. And I started wearing a watch, and I was like, I don't know why the fuck I ever had a pocket watch on me. It's like a cool aesthetic, but the act of like, it was cool to like clip it to your pants and then like take it out of your pocket and like press the button and it flipped open, you know.
And you had a picture of a nudie girl on the...
I had a bald eagle with American flag behind it. Nice. But that's because I love America. And I hate Hitler, just to clarify. But then I started wearing a watch. I was like, well, this is way easier. And then I owned a phone. And it's like, oh, this is the easiest version of all.
Oh, fuck, I don't even need the watch.
I still like the watches because...
I want to get... I'm not a fan of jewelry. I don't like jewelry at all. I want to get a nice watch to wear for like if I have to get dressed up for like a special occasion or something.
It's good to have a nice watch. I'm more prone to watches now because like with work, I can't always have my phone like on me. Like if I'm like walking through like work, it's a way easier to like look at my watch than pull out my phone, you know?
I get that, yeah.
So I'm more used to it now than I was. I guess like probably Apple Watches are the way to go, I guess.
Yeah. My coworker has one. He loves it, but I don't know. It feels like much.
It's a weird thing, right? It's a little much sometimes.
Yeah, it feels like much because like you're like, oh, I'm getting all my text messages and.
But you have your phone on you.
Yeah.
Like who doesn't have their phone on them at all times at this point?
I guess it's convenient if it's like in your pocket and you're like.
But like also, how much more convenience do you need than having like the entire world in your pocket at all times.
You need it on your wrist now also.
I guess so.
It's
but
like
I used to have a smartwatch. It wasn't an Apple Watch, but it was like a Samsung watch. Mm-hmm. I felt like I never used it because it was so much easier to take my phone out of my pocket, check my text, than like having to like look at this tiny little screen on my wrist and like scroll through to read a text message.
Yeah, I don't know. I just always thought that like getting that would be just like the biggest waste of money, just because it's so expensive.
Also, everyone who has an Apple Watch always has the same joke. It always tells them to like stand up after like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, time to stand up. And they keep sitting down. It's like always the same. They're like, oh, time to stand. Haha. Fuck you, Apple Watch.
No.
And it's like, hey, I'm just going to sit down now.
Jeez.
It's always the same thing. But I don't know. I don't know if technology's gone too far. I mean, do you remember Google Glass? Do you remember that at all?
I remember people getting assaulted for wearing it because people thought that they were videotaping them. Like
and they were glass holes. That's what people called them.
Yeah.
And everyone thought it was a cool idea. And then everyone started like, people like started wearing it and were like, they just look like idiots, you know?
Isn't there something newer coming out now, which is like similar, like same thing, but it's more like
incognito,
efficient. Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought
maybe Google Glass was just too early for its time.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of bulky because, you know, you had like the thing.
Right.
And also you like had to like do everything with like a
you had to like look around to like control like the
and you had to do like
camera and stuff.
Head jerks. You're like, no.
Yeah. Looks like you have like Tourette's, like just like freaking out, like trying to like Google like nearest restaurant near
I think
me.
there was an SNL sketch about with they did a Weekend Update with interviewing a guy with Google Glass, and he's like, it was Fred Armisen. He's like, oh, it's really easy to use, and he's like, no, yes, no, and he's like shaking his head, and he's like, it doesn't seem to work well. He's like, no, it works, I promise. And then it's like a porn virus gets downloaded on it.
I mean, we say this now, but I guarantee 10 years in the future, this will be like a thing.
Oh, dude, our cars, like the windshield's going to be like filled with shit and like...
And we won't even be driving it. We won't even be at the wheel.
Yeah.
It'll just be like... cars will just be entertainment systems in like the future.
Did you see that Tesla that crashed? The thing is, you can't blame the car because you see the Tesla, I think it was in Texas, it crashed into a tree and burnt. There's 2 people in it. But what happened was it was 2 drunk guys. And he's like, oh, let's get in our Tesla. I'll just put it on auto drive. We can go to sleep and it'll take us home. And then like it went around a corner way too fast, crashed into a tree, caught on fire, and both the dudes died in it.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
Because it almost like, yeah. Because I read it because I was like, oh shit. I was like, I thought like the car went crazy and like, but you know, like they say with like the autopilot, isn't like the autopilot still in beta for Tesla?
You still have to have both your hands on the wheel. Yeah,
because it says if you're gonna put an autopilot, like you have to like be like aware still, like you because you have to be able to like they're like this doesn't work 100%.
Yeah, you can't just fuck off. You have to have both hands on the wheel to make sure that you're actually still in control of the car.
Well, that's what these 2 dudes did. They got drunk and they were like, "Oh, this car will drive us home. We don't have to like." So the 2 of them fell asleep in the car.
They probably didn't deserve a Tesla in the first place. Maybe that's Tesla's way of ridding itself from people who don't deserve one. They just crash themselves into trees and take themselves out.
You don't deserve that.
Maybe.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, that was, I saw that recently. But
I don't know. People give too much shit to like autopilot cars because
I mean the idea is scary.
It is, but you know what's scarier? A bunch of monkeys like driving like cars like all day long. It works
most of the time though.
It works a lot of the time. We're a bunch of advanced chimpanzees driving cars, and the idea of self-driving cars is, I think it's way better, honestly, than any of us driving.
I mean, it's going to get to a certain point where it'll work so well that every car is just going to go like that.
And that's ideal. I don't care how much you like driving.
And then at some point it'll be scary to think that, oh, there could be someone actually driving.
Exactly. Because, if everyone had a self-driving car, we wouldn't need stoplights. There would be no traffic.
Yeah,
because every car could interact with each other.
Yeah, every car would know like, oh, this is I'm coming up here, and I sense in my computers I see like there's a car coming here. I can just go.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like traffic only is caused by like, say there's like a deer that runs across the road on a highway. Someone stops, like someone slows down a lot and then goes forward. And the person behind them doesn't realize exactly when they're slowing down in front of them. So they slow down more, and the person behind them slows down more. And eventually someone comes to a complete stop, and then they start again. And it just completely domino effects down. So one single incident, like someone pulling into the lane when they shouldn't, causes entire traffic jam for a long time on a freeway. If all cars could like interact with each other, that would never happen.
Yeah.
You know? Or like red lights. We've all been at like a red light where like the first car, it will turn green and they'll wait a little bit and then they go. And the car behind them waits a little bit and then they go. And eventually like 4 cars get through the green light. When realistically, if it turned green and every car, like all 7 cars accelerate at the exact same time with no delay, all of them would get through. Mm-hmm. And eventually it would lead up to, we wouldn't have to have stoplights at all. All cars would just be able to interact with each other and stop correctly and like just go. And we wouldn't have to have any traffic issues.
Or we just replace every intersection with roundabouts in the future. With the
roundabouts are good. They're definitely better than
especially with I guess with AI, because then you don't have to stop. It'll just constantly be like,
it wouldn't even have to be a roundabout. It could just be an intersection with no stop sign, and your car would know exactly.
They would just kind of govern themselves, sort of thing.
Yeah, it would know when to stop. You know, so yeah, I mean, definitely AI in the future would be good. The only issue with that is, if there's like say there's like a group of carolers in the road, Christmas carolers, and your car can either hit the carolers, right? Or and there's like 5 of them, right? They're all singing like "Deck the Halls" with, you know, they're all having a great time.
And they're kids.
And they're children, and they're also holding babies. So there's 10 people, right? And you're driving your Tesla down the road and on autopilot, and you're reading a book of Christmas carols, but you're not listening, like, or watching what's in front of you. And then your car has to make the decision: do we hit the carolers, or do we pull aside, hit a tree, and kill the driver? What should the car do?
Ooh. I suppose because it's a computer, it would do the most efficient thing, right? And it would probably just kill the driver.
Okay. But then, who wants to buy a car that will kill them?
That's true.
So there's the dilemma.
But then who would buy a car that just like plows through whatever's in front of them? Also?
But you buy a car that will protect you at all costs.
True, yeah.
That's what you want to be in.
Yeah, you want a car that will protect you at all costs. But if you're buying a car that's going to drive itself, and it's like whatever's the fuck's in front of it, it's going to drive through, you're like, Jesus, okay.
But there's the issue, right? Let's say it's not a group of merry carolers. Let's say it's one person illegally...
It's hardened convicts.
Let's say it's one person illegally crossing the road.
Okay.
And the car is self-driving. You have no control over it. And the car makes the decision. Does it hit the person, or does it drive into a tree and kill you? What does the car do?
In that case, it'd probably hit the person, right? Because it would probably try to slow down as best as it could, and then...
But then you have a car that doesn't avoid obstacles.
True.
So there's the problem, right? And it's not like the car has intelligence and knows this. It's developed by programmers. Programmers, real people, have to make these decisions. Mm-hmm. What does the car do? It's like the trolley problem, right? You ever hear this problem?
Yeah, you divert the track to hit... 10 people or 1 person or something like
right, that. Like there's a train that's or a trolley that's gonna hit 3 people, and you're at the switch, and there's 1 person on the other side. What do? Do you pull the switch and kill 1 person, or do you let it hit 3 people? And the majority of people who are asked this have it hit 3 people.
Oh, really? Why?
Because if you pull the lever, then you kill someone. But
if you let it go, it was the train's fault.
Then 3 people die, but you don't kill someone. Even though realistically
you watched,
you did kill 3 people because you had the choice to not kill 3 people and kill someone instead.
It's like the story behind "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins. Did you ever hear that story?
No.
So there was like a rumor, which isn't true, but back in the 80s, they said the meaning behind the song "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins was that he watched a man watch a man drown. And that's what the song's about. But so it was like,
why didn't he stop the man from drowning?
That's what everyone said. It's like, wait, so when he still watched a man drown, even though he was just watching a man watch a man drown, like,
I never watched Tarzan and thought of this before.
Oh, that song's on Tarzan. So
it's on Tarzan, right?
No,
it's not.
Not "In the Air Tonight." No,
"You'll Be in My Heart."
"You'll Be in My Heart," "Son of Man."
Imagine how fucked up "You'll Be in My Heart" was then. If, "In the Air Tonight" is "You'll Be in My Heart" was probably like,
but that was like
about cannibalism.
That was like the I don't know where it came from, but they were like the songs about Phil Collins watching a man watching another man drown.
That's fucked.
Which is I'm pretty sure it's not true, but
probably not.
Here's a question for you.
Okay.
About the AI. Do you let Matthew Broderick do any of this coding?
You know just how to. Yesterday I erased the Matthew Broderick thing off my whiteboard.
Did you really?
Yeah, yesterday I did.
You know what's funny? You say
it's right there, behind the camera.
Shit.
I erased it for the first time yesterday.
Something
because I had the interview. I didn't want that behind me.
I was talking with my aunt. Laura and Ed came down from Rochester. My aunt, my uncle. And they said something about Matthew Broderick. And I was like, you know who could tell you about Matthew Broderick? I was like, Luke can.
Oh my God. I let Matthew Broderick design the AI?
What's more dangerous? Yeah, what's more dangerous? Letting Matthew Broderick create the coding for that car, or Phil Collins watching a man watch another man drown.
All right, so let's make some assumptions, okay? First off, I don't know this for a fact, but I think I can assume Matthew Broderick does not know how to code. Especially when it comes to AI. I assume he is not.
But it's also safe to assume that Phil Collins does know how to code, because Phil Collins can do no wrong. Right.
I assume Phil Collins could cure cancer if he put his mind to it. He just has other things on his mind.
Yeah. He's doing more important things.
If I was God or like the president, Matthew Broderick would never be allowed to do anything with cars ever again.
You know what the funny thing is? You say that phrasing in particular. He was on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
I did not see that episode.
With Jerry Seinfeld, and they got a Lamborghini. They're zipping around New York City.
Well, he was driving a BMW during the incident.
Yeah, that's probably what they can. Oh fuck! Imagine if Jerry Seinfeld, because you've seen that show, right?
Uh-huh.
He picks the car for the person.
Right.
Imagine if he picked that BMW.
We should probably explain the whole Matthew Broderick thing.
Oh yeah,
because people probably have no idea.
You
what
do
the
it because you know the
about.
dates by heart.
Okay, so on August 5th, 1987, exactly 10 years before I was born, Matthew Broderick was driving a car in the Irish countryside with his girlfriend during the filming of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or maybe it was right after the filming of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And he was driving on the wrong side of the road in a rental car, and he hit a car, and he killed a mother and her daughter who were driving in the opposite car. And he served no sentence. I think he paid $1,000 in fines for reckless driving. And he has since not apologized to the family at all, even though he's been willing to meet with them and apologize with him. And the son of the family confirmed that he was supposed to meet and then canceled or didn't show up or something like that. And then he did like a Honda commercial at Super Bowl in 2003. And the son was like, "Oh no, he never met with us, but I wouldn't trust him behind the wheel.
I wouldn't buy
anything."
a Honda.
Yeah,
if that's Matthew Broderick's car of choice.
So he killed 2 people for reckless driving. And it's not known if drugs or alcohol were involved at all. But he was driving on the wrong side of the road.
He got off with it.
And he got away with no charges whatsoever. And because it happened 10 years before I was born, I do feel like it's my personal mission in life.
You're also Irish, so.
I am, yeah. To bring Matthew Broderick to justice.
That's an assault against your countrymen.
It is. And
attack against one is attack against all.
Yeah. I do feel like Matthew Broderick, I do feel like Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a fun movie. Do I enjoy it anymore? I do not.
I've never actually seen it.
I do not. It's good. It's okay.
I watched the first 10 minutes with you here, and then we shut it off and then did something else.
We watched it as a meme, right? Because Matthew Broderick killed, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
We put it on. Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, that's my goal in life is to make sure Matthew Broderick sees justice.
Sees justice in our
his
life,
crimes.
our lifetime.
Because he so far has not. And it's disgusting. So now you all know that this crime has been committed.
Yeah.
2 people are dead.
And Matthew Broderick walks free.
And he walks free.
You know what's been doing a lot of walking? Dogecoin.
Great transition. Yes. Yes, it has. Dogecoin went up from 12 cents to 43 cents. And now it's sitting around 30 cents.
Pretty crazy.
The past couple days. It's pretty insane, especially because I do a lot of crypto investing and a lot of research.
Yeah.
And Dogecoin is worthless. Worthless.
It's just the only value is what people, it's just what's valued with people buying into it, right?
100% with Dogecoin. There are many, many cryptos, in fact, almost all of them, that have a specific purpose, whether it's an infrastructure, like digital infrastructure, or blockchain maintenance, or like online storage that's decentralized. They all like have these different possibilities and points. Dogecoin was created as a meme. That's why it's named after the meme of Doge by an Australian guy who made it as a joke. And the only reason it has any value at all,
Because Elon Musk keeps tweeting about it.
exactly, is because Elon Musk keeps tweeting about it. And it's such a meme. And we saw GameStop skyrocket that Doge is now a thing, when in reality it is so fucking worthless. I'm happy for the people who have made money off of it, who bought it low and sold it big, or maybe still have it. But it is one of the few cryptos that does not have a cap on it. So it's one of the few cryptos that is subject to inflation, because more and more can just be produced without any hard cap on it. And that's kind of one of the main points of crypto, is that they are not subject to inflation.
Because that's like with Bitcoin, there's only a certain amount of Bitcoins
that can be made. And then that's it.
And yeah, that's all you got, right?
And the only thing that circulates in the market is people who own it and people who sell it.
Buying it, yeah.
That's all there is. And that's why it goes up in value. Because there's only a certain amount, like gold. There's only a certain amount of gold in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Doge, there's an infinite amount of Doge. So whatever you think it's worth is not worth that.
What does it say?
Even a little bit.
Wow, much coin.
Yeah, this is, by the way, the official logo. Wow much coin, how money, so crypto, please mine the rich, very currency, and then it just repeats over and over. So, yeah, so that's basically what we're dealing with here.
It's pretty awesome.
So I am very happy for anyone who's made money off of it or has, bought into it and it's doing well now, but please don't put your life savings into it. Maybe it will go to $1. Maybe some people can make some real money off of it, and congratulations if you do. Yeah. But there's no way it can sustain long-term profits.
I think what will happen is that it'll reach a high point. It might reach $1 or something. I don't know. This is me guessing. But I feel like once it gets that high, people are going to sell all of it, and then it's just going to crash.
Oh, there's no way that it can sustain any nominal amount of money at any point. Mm-hmm. It is impossible, because even if you hold it at $1 and it stays at $1 and then there's no limit, it's just like a US dollar. If you put $1 in a savings account with no interest, and 100 years from now,
this is gonna be $1.
You take it out, like it will be worth like 5 cents compared to what
probably after like
you'll still have $1 at the end, or like you have one Doge or $1.
But it's not worth the same as when you
it's impossible to be worth the same, because in 1960, if you made like $200 a week, you were like a high roller,
fucking king.
Yeah, and now if you make $200 a week, it's like nothing.
Yeah, you might as well find a spot under the bridge. Yeah,
exactly.
You know what's crazy? Because when all this Dogecoin was going up, I was watching this. I watched this YouTube channel. Do you know who Sarah Dietschy is?
Mm-mm.
She has a YouTube channel. She does like a lot of tech reviews and stuff. Her channel's relatively popular, but I was watching. She reviews a camera that I was interested in buying, and then the next video that came up on the autoplay was like, "Oh, I bought a Tesla." So I was like, "Oh, let me watch that," because I like Teslas. I wanted to see like what she got and everything. And she was talking about she sold all her crypto to buy the Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
And this was back in March of this year.
Of this year, 2021?
Yeah. And she sold, I think it was this past year. I think so, yeah. March. Yeah, it's got to be March or February. It was either end of February, beginning of March. But she had 1.5 Bitcoins, and she sold all that. And at that time, it was like $38,000, and she had 1.5 Bitcoins. And
it's probably February then.
Yeah, because she said it went down to like 24,000, and then she was like, "I'm going to sell,"
because it hit 50,000 last month. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I think it's sitting at like 56 or 57,000 right now.
It's like 55,000, but it did hit 62,000 a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's down a little bit right now.
Yeah, but she's like she thought she was going to like lose out on it, so she sold all her Bitcoin when it hit 38,000. And I was like, "Fuck! Imagine if like you just waited a little bit longer."
She would have made 22,000 more. Yeah,
and then she also sold all her Ethereum when it was like she only got $300 for it.
Oh yeah, that's rough because Ethereum's taking off right now. I mean, there's always going to be those situations, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I should have waited longer. I would have this much more. But if you make like any money at all, that's kind of a win. Because something could always, like, it did go up more, but at the time, it could have gone down like almost like to zero.
Yeah, it could have went. Yeah,
she could have lost all that and not had a Tesla. At least she has something out of it, you know.
Yeah. No, she did. She did sell, and she kind of like gave like a little like she's like, be wary of like crypto, because she's like, you can like dump all your money into like something, but she's like, you know, it is risky, you know, sort of.
It's very volatile, but there's always moments where I'm like, oh, I should have bought here instead of here, and I should have sold here and then bought back when it was lower. But no one knows what's going to happen, like, to the market.
I mean, also, there's, like, NFTs now, which are, like, a thing that people are trying to get into. My least favorite thing about this whole crypto thing is when people are like, oh, you're making a big mistake not hopping on this right now. You're like, oh, this is the future, baby. And I'm like, you can shut the fuck up. I really don't care. I was like, I'm going to sink all my money in Funkos.
How do you really feel about me?
Honestly, the way people talk about it sometimes, I feel like you're like, that's like the new vegan. Like, you know, I have crypto. I dabble in crypto. Same thing with like, I don't eat animals. I eat plants all the time.
Yeah. Well, at least with being vegan, if I'm like, oh, I'm vegan, you gotta get vegan. You're not gonna make any money off that. You're gonna spend more money.
Yeah.
If I'm like, I dabble in crypto, you should dabble in crypto. Maybe you can make some money.
Yeah.
Maybe you can lose some money.
Yeah.
So,
which I mean, good for you. I mean, good for anyone who's making money off of like crypto and anything.
Yeah.
But like telling someone about
it is a personality trait now.
Telling someone about crypto is one, like being like trying to explain it to someone or something like that's like one thing. But being like, oh, you fucking idiots. We're making money by the boatload over here. I'm sinking money into my PayPal. I'm like, I could care less.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of guilty of that because I've told people before, like, you got to get into crypto. Like, definitely, like, you should hop in.
There's worse people
but
I've come across who
I don't give a fuck if you do or not, really. I'm just like, hey, like, you know, this is pretty, like, get it on this. I feel like it's gonna go. I feel like this one's going.
Yeah,
big.
no. And I don't think.
But if you don't want to get into crypto, I couldn't give a shit. Your money is probably better. If someone doesn't want to get into something, then their money is better off elsewhere.
Yeah.
According to them. And I couldn't give a shit. Like if I was vegan and I was like, and you didn't want to be vegan,
like get oat
your time is better spent elsewhere. Why would I give a fuck if you? I'm not vegan, but like, why would I give a fuck what you want to do with your time?
It's I don't know. I feel like that's like, I don't know, every like new thing. But what I hate is the people specifically who are like, you got to hop on this right now. This is like the biggest thing happening. And they're only talking about like Dogecoin.
Yeah. Like the shit coins.
Or when they're like, you got to get into stocks. But then they bought like GameStop stock when it was like, when they heard about it on CNN.
They have no idea like what stocks, like what even a stock does.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, I bought GameStop.
I see people like that a lot, especially on Instagram. They're like, come on. They're like, you got to get on this Doge right now.
That's big. Mostly people who have big holdings in it and they want other people to buy it so that their money increases in it. Yeah. And then they'll sell out. And then after they sell, they'll tell you to sell out.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like penny stock. It's like pumping and dumping. Like people will buy like a shit stock and then like they'll have a lot of money in it and tell everyone they can to buy the stock and like
then it shoots up and
drive it artificially up and then they'll sell and like a day later they'll be like, oh, I sold, like you should sell too. But at that point it's too late for them.
That's like
you're the only person making money at that point.
That's like all like the hedge fund stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like same thing.
It's like I used to follow this thing, Finest Penny Stock, when I was in high school, and it was like once a week like email you got with like buy this new stock. I never took it seriously. I thought it was like kind of fun to like dick around with like $20 at a time. I did make some money off of it, but it was so clear. I felt bad for the people who like put like way more money into it because I saw it for face value that was like a pump and dump. So I would try to like buy it and then sell it before the person said to sell, which they never usually did say to sell. They would just move on to the next stock, so it didn't act like
they're like, yeah, hold on to this is good stuff.
And they'd be like, oh, my last stocks went up like 1,000%. Yeah.
I heard there's like a website that you could look at where I guess legally CEOs or something are required to like disclose like what stocks they're like buying into or something.
This is Clubhouse?
It's not Clubhouse. It's like something like they're supposed to like show like fuck. I saw it. It's like I forget the web. It's like they're legally required to disclose. I don't know if it's like inside. Inside trading is illegal, right? Mm-hmm. But they're required to show like some form of trading that they're doing.
So it's not insider trading.
Yeah, and
because that's like it, so if like a CEO sold a huge portion of their company,
or bought something. Yeah. They're required to like disclose it. And there's a website that you can go to where they keep track of all these things. Mm-hmm. So you could see what these huge corporations are like buying into. Mm-hmm. And then like once like the thing like shoots up in price, you sell. And you can make money off of this.
That makes sense.
But I forget what like the legality of it, like why they have to post. But there's this information is out there where you can go see what these massive corporations are buying into. And then you in turn can like buy into that. And then
that's one of the benefits of crypto is that everything is public. All trades are public. Mm-hmm. So you can see when people buy, like, I think it was like Tesla bought like a few billion in like Bitcoin. Like that, that's public knowledge.
I keep thinking that he bought Dogecoin.
He did. He bought Dogecoin for his son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he tweeted that. He bought Doge for his son.
Oh.
And there is like a thing.
Alpha Centurion 10,000, whatever his name is.
Yes, I think that's exactly what it is. But it's Ash, but it's like something crazy.
I heard he actually like changed it. Like,
actually, I found out recently it's illegal to have numbers in a name in the United States. Yeah, it is. And in some countries, you have to get your kid's name approved because it can't be like in New Zealand. Your name can't be offensive to other groups of people. Kid's name, you can't name your kid Adolf Hitler in New Zealand. Yeah. And you can't have like numbers in the name. Like it has to be approved because it's like it could be personally harmful for it's like child abuse basically. You have to get your name approved.
Oh, if you give like a kid like a number instead of like a...
Yeah, which it is. It is like child abuse to like name your kid something intentionally.
That's
like,
the Romans used to name their kids number. Like that's why like Octavius means like 8 in Roman or something like that.
Yeah, because octo is 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now Octavius is October.
Yeah.
Because October was the 8th month.
Didn't he fuck up the calendar?
No, it was Octavius.
Oh, no, that was Caesar, right? He had it August, right?
He had August and October. So Caesar, Augustus Caesar added August for Augustus and then Octavius for Octavian. And so those are the 2 months he put in there to make it a 12-month calendar.
Yeah.
The Roman calendar instead of it being 10 months.
Yeah, no, because...
no, I got that completely wrong. July for Julius and August for Octavius. For Julius Caesar and Octavius. Because then septum is September because 7, then octo,
Is
novum, decum.
Yeah.
And those were 7, 8, 9, 10. But now they are 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Because July and August were put in the middle there. That's what it was. I don't know why the fuck I was.
Yeah, no. Because I think in Rome, like you got like a they gave you like a name like that, like Octave, like meaning like 8 or like eight son or 8 kid or whatever, and because they didn't know if you were going to survive or not. And then when you reached a certain age, you got to pick your own name.
Oh, that'd be cool if we still did that.
But you held on to like the Octavius still though, so you're like Octavius whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you could still do that. But I know for a fact if I like turned like 16, I could choose my own name. I pick like Anakin or some dumb shit, like just to be like cool.
Yeah, you'd be like whatever. You'd be like Bitavius or whatever, Bitovian or whatever for like number 2. Because you're the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's duo.
You're like number 2 kid. Then at age 13, your parents like, you be whatever you want. Pick your name.
Yeah. I'd be like Anakin duo. Like, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I'm the cool, I'm the prequels, baby. Anything else you want to talk about this week?
No. I mean, I think we caught up pretty good.
We nailed all the checkpoints there.
Yeah. You know, what are we looking forward to, really?
Definitely in the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon Winter Soldier.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. Invincible, if you haven't watched it, we won't get into that right now. But I highly suggest if you're a superhero fan.
Invincible on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. If you're a superhero fan, that's a really cool one.
Damn good.
Same guy, Robert Kirkman, who wrote Walking Dead, wrote those comics, and
but they're way better than Walking Dead.
Yeah. Also, like the comic he wrote, I didn't realize Invincible was around for like as long as it was because he's written so much, and they've pretty much taken like the best parts of the story and made that into the show, which I think is nice. So
the show's super good.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that way more later down the road, but check that out definitely.
And follow us on Instagram, YouTube.
We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, a couple other ones
that don't matter.
That
Anchor.fm/tabletop tonic.
We're on Anchor.
Where you can find it where we're listed.
Yeah.
And then tabletoptonic.com, which is our website. Which it's pretty cool. You should make it your homepage.
Yeah. We have all the episodes go there also.
And then we upload on YouTube as well.
Yeah. I've been slacking on that, but like I said, got sliced open.
You were hurt.
This week. Yeah.
You were hurt.
Daddy was bleeding.
You hurt. Daddy bleeds. YouTube bleeds as well.
Yeah, Daddy, I bleed. Do you bleed?
But
yeah.
That's it.
But yeah. More Mortal Kombat's this Friday. We can talk about that if we want.
We can. I don't know if I'll watch that or not. Yeah. To be honest.
It might be fun. I heard it's gonna be good, but that's this Friday. So we'll talk about that next week.
All right. Yeah.
But also, do we say Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
And Captain Falcon?
Yeah.
Captain Falcon?
Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier, yeah.
But yeah. So I think we got that stuff to look forward to next week. But
it's gonna be a good ep.
Thanks for coming back. I know Daddy went out for a pack of cigs and he didn't think he was gonna come back, but he did.
And he won the scratchers, baby.
We're going to the pony races.
We're going to Disney World.
Yeah. All right. But guys, thanks for listening. We love having you. This is Tabletop Tonic. And you know what?
Time for the outro.
See you guys next week. Bye-bye.